Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Spades. It is, what's the date?
Today's the 10th.
The 10th. Brother Vic is late. It's been an eventful morning. But before I get into everything, before I introduce our guests, I have something to get off my chest. I woke up this morning and seen a video that disturbed me. My cousin Denise, shout out my cousin Denise. She always posts videos about the struggles that our people had to go through for a lot of the reasons, for no reason at all, or dumb reasons, just insensitivity to your situation. I seen a post that she put about a man that was in the military, had to have a family, and when he came back from the military, he got a job at Frito-Lay. He had a job at Frito-Lay, and it was a good paying job, taking care of his family and all that. He was working so much, his wife thought he was cheating on him. To the point that he was working 20-hour days. And then he was at one point, he said he worked 26 straight days in a row.
Like that? With those
yeah.
conditions?
And I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying? That alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's crazy. You don't care about nobody's livelihood, even though he getting bread. You don't care about nobody's livelihood or none of that. And then the story thickens. One day, he just, doing what he doing with the pallet jack, doing his job. Mm-hmm. He gets electrocuted. This man gets electrocuted. And then when they went to go take him to the hospital, they drive past 4 different hospitals to go to a hospital they, quote unquote, have a connection with. Then, when he went through that, they trying to figure out, so when you going to work? He's like, it's hard for me to walk. You know what I'm saying? It hurts to me to lay down. You talking about working, you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't just slaving.
Yeah, I wasn't just slaving, and I just got electrocuted on top of that. And I'm like, what? Because we went through in restaurants in this jobs period, we went through something like that, but not to that certain degree. And this is not my first time hearing something like this, but it's absolutely ridiculous to me. And then he asked for some time off, some grace period, nothing. Then he asked for a chair so he can do his office work in some kind of comfortability, nothing. I'm like, yo, this man didn't slave for you. He a good worker and all that, and you just bypass all that. All you had to do was give him paid time off. Now you about to get sued. Because not only did he, when he found out later on through his own doctor, he got an MRI, he had 280 discs in his back from the shock. And now from their negligence, now that man has liver disease. And people wonder why during the pandemic, everybody don't want to work now. They don't care. They never did, but it's absolutely ridiculous. You put your heart and soul into a place like that, and you just nothing to them.
Everybody's replaceable. They make that very clear in this capitalistic workforce that everybody is replaceable.
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And I'm just like, yo, we got to work for ourselves. We got to get it out. We got to get it out the mud. We got to get it for ourselves. Because if you your own person, you're going to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people, especially, when the pandemic happened, nobody was working. You know what I'm saying? And you were lucky if you was getting unemployment. You know what I'm saying? Only certain people, essential workers, and we was essential, but we really wasn't getting no hours for real. You got to get it for yourself. Once majority of the population found a way to generate money through themselves and not having to go through these big corporations, it's going to be issues.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think also one of the issues is finding the balance between how to stay moral, because you got to think about it. All of these big corporations did start off as little businesses. They all started off as entrepreneurs. It's at what point, at what level of power do you start to become not considerate towards, the people that work under you? Because everybody, it's oh yeah, everybody should be entrepreneurs, but if everybody's an entrepreneur, then there are no workers. Nothing is becoming a developed company. So we do need workers. But how do we find that line with allowing our companies to get big, but still being ethical towards our crew members, without letting the power be okay, well, you can keep working because I need my business. I feel it always starts, nothing, okay, I don't want to say nothing, but a lot of things don't start with the intention in mind of I want to exploit people. Mm-hmm. It usually turns into that.
Far as what end? Far as these companies?
No, I'm talking about when companies start little, right?
Yeah.
Because even think about it, you know how everybody talks about the business story of McDonald's. It started off with two brothers. It was one restaurant, things like that. Next thing you know, McDonald's is this big, multi-billion-dollar, business. But it's at what point did the owner become in so much power where he was all them people that work under me, they just got to do what they got to do because I don't actually care about them personally. So how do you find that line to stay ethical while still making your business as big as it can possibly be?
I mean, that's an interesting question. That is an interesting question, and I haven't been in that kind of place to know that for sure. But my thing is, there's no way that being compassionate a little bit for your workers and care about your workers is going to cost you that much amount of money.
Yeah, it's just
to the point that it's going to hurt your pockets.
I was about to say, you just will you're with keeping consideration for your crew members in mind, you will just cap out at a certain amount of money. You're not going to become this
broke. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna not be successful because you care about your workers. True. That's not going to happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. So it's just you just care. That's why people are not working now. I work at a restaurant. We barely have enough people on staff because they don't be giving a fuck for real. They don't. Yeah. They don't, and that's the problem. And that's the problem they're having. You know what I'm saying? Now you seeing McDonald's giving sign up bonuses, and then if you know what I'm saying, now they're trying to do this bonuses because of the simple fact that we during the pandemic we had to try to figure out what's going on and try to do something for yourself. For yourself, because the lack of hours we was getting or not working at all because of the pandemic. But you treating people like that. You treating a worker that worked for you for 20 hours a day, 26 days straight.
Disgusting.
Risking his marriage.
Disgusting.
Risking his marriage. And he used to be in the military. And that man get electrocuted at your job. You bypass the hospitals nearby to go to a hospital y'all cool with. They give him the bare minimum so he can go home. Then he hurting, then you still want him to go to work, doing that on purpose because you don't want to pay him and none of that.
Right.
It's hard for regular people to sue and all that. So that's what you try to do, and this man ended up finding out he got 2 herniated discs, and now through negligence, now he got liver disease.
You want to know what the craziest part about all of that is? I'm listening to you tell the story, and I feel like both mine and your generation has heard so many disgusting and tragic things that I can sit here with a straight face and just listen to you hear this story. I'm not I can't believe, why would they, nothing that you're saying
It's not surprising, but it's
my face
it's
is just
crazy.
like my face is just like, oh, another story.
Another story, because we getting sensitive,
Like
insensitive to
we're
it.
becoming numb
Yeah,
to,
numb to
to
it.
trauma.
Better choice of words.
It's okay, I got your back. We here.
Exactly, because that's ridiculous.
It is.
And not to compare it to two, because it's on a certain degree, but you know why we so numb to it? Look what I went through at Red Robin. Not to the certain degree as him, but you seen what I went through at Red Robin. You know what I went through at Red Robin.
Hold up,
and still came in that place and still was professional and all that.
Hold up. I am aware of the reason why you're no longer there.
Exactly.
And that was ridiculous. Because don't get me wrong, when your regulars were coming in, and they asked what happened. Oh, I told them what happened. I'd be like, you know what? Let me get your drinks first, because you're gonna have to sit down and listen to this story, because it don't make no sense. This don't get stupid. And they're like, oh, do you know where he works now? And I'm like, oh yeah. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we're probably not gonna be here anymore. And I'm like, that's fine. I really do get paid the same if you here or not. But yeah, he over there. Yeah, so
they came through.
They did, exactly, because I know.
They came through. They missed me that day, but they came through later.
Yeah,
they came through later.
They did.
They came through later.
It's
ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and especially with that, I sometimes go see it. It's nothing going on in there. We had to go over there and get some ice. It was nothing in there. Nothing in there. You got to understand, power of people.
Oh, for sure. Hold up.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I know you've been through several crews that were really good, but that crew that came the summer that I came, service wise, servers, that was a really good section of people. It was as soon as it got lifted, it was booming. We was having people come back. People knew our names. They was leaving recommendations on the little thing. I feel like when you treat people like they're replaceable, that is when your pocket really hurts. That's when it really hurts. That's why even, and it's not even just with, restaurants, even with, movies, right? When we have reboots and we recast, we be like, this movie sucks. Mm-hmm. But if we have a reboot and then it's the old cast, even if they're older, we're like, oh my gosh, this movie is so good, even if it's not good. It's so much better because there is something just irreplaceable about specific individuals. And we need to treat people as though, being you is important, and that we need to preserve and respect and have some type of compassion and love for your existence, which is why, them neglecting his, injuries and sickness is absolutely, insane and disgusting. Mm-hmm. Because, that man... if you took him away with all the hours he was putting in, how much money would you have lost if he wasn't there doing what he did? Mm-hmm. The least you could do is...
Or how much work that the boss had to do because he wasn't putting in those kind of hours.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What's up, bro?
What's going on?
What's up, bro?
Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning.
When you was on your way up here, did you see a phone or anything?
As you was walking?
I think I dropped my phone, but I'm not sure. I had to get the show going.
Along the way, no, I didn't see any phone.
I hope it's in the car.
It probably is in the car.
I was rushing. I was like, ah.
Yeah, no, I didn't. On the way up, I didn't see any phone on the ground.
Yeah,
but
just pray it's in the car. But
nice hat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's museum. We had brother on his last show.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we was talking about? I know you heard some of it. How you feel?
I mean, from what I've heard, first of all, before I go any further, I just want to give Trump his flowers. Because not Trump, but
not Donald Trump.
I didn't say nothing.
Trump.
I was listening.
Yeah,
I was.
I just want to make that clear.
The owner of this network.
Yeah, I just want to give him his flowers. Because he's going to going to do bigger and better things, take care of some stuff with his personal life. So, he is the reason why we have this show. Mm-hmm. He's also the reason why we have our 90-minute format now.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously he saw enough in us to give us an extra 30 minutes, in the studio. So, if he's listening,
we appreciate you,
and if his family is listening, just wanted to give him his flowers. And I also want to congratulate Chip and the OGs for taking the baton from him.
Oh, for word.
And moving the network forward. So with that being said, just want to congratulate everyone.
God damn. Okay. That's what's up, man. Hey,
the Rippies is next weekend.
It's next weekend.
So
is that week? I'm be shocked, boy.
So
you thought we was shocked like I'm shocked.
So I'm looking forward to getting together with with all the networks in one setting. I mean, all the shows in one setting. Again, I have not been watching every show normally like I have been, but I'm definitely looking forward to connecting with the other shows that's joined the network since last year, and of course, reconnecting and getting together with the other shows. But as far as what you all were talking about, seemed like it was a loaded topic.
Well, we was talking specifically about that man.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a video. He was working with Frito-Lay and all that happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just disgusted because I was just like, bro, he put in all that work for him.
Mm-hmm.
He get electrocuted on your company.
Mm-hmm.
And your negligence caused this man to have liver disease.
Mm-hmm. Well,
literally working so hard that his wife think he's cheating because she's like, it's shifts. There's no way you working 20-hour shifts for a month straight.
But what if he is though?
No, he is. That's hard
right.
to. She was like, that's hard to believe. It's chips. So of course, little creep, a little thing, come to mind like, are you cheating? Like, there's no way you working. Because that's kind of ridiculous to work 20 hours a day.
And the craziest part is it's only ridiculous
for
in
a
America.
month.
It is only ridiculous in America. There are sweatshops all over the place who work them same hours. Children that work them same.
That don't make it right.
No. I'm not. Oh, hold up. No. Let me make it very clear. I am not. I'm not rooting for it. I'm just saying, like, this disgusting, like, thought process is like not new. Like, it's not just this company. It's companies. Like, I literally just did like a 12-page paper. Okay, thank God the semester is over. Look at God, won't he do it? But I just did a 12-page paper about how unethical like fast fashion is, and that's just fashion. That's not even like food, and the amount of terrible hours that they have to work, the amount that they get paid during those hours, the amount that's expected for them to do. Like, this world is greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
unnecessary.
It's so crazy. We're kind of we're tying a bow with this conversation because this is going back to the show last week when we had Mo. There's power. There's serious power in how you treat people. But not only that, when you are an entrepreneur, or when you are a Fortune 500 company or a small business or whatever type of business or company you are, there is serious power in how you treat people and team chemistry. Because the part where you all were talking about as far as when you came to Red Robin and the servers you all had were A1 and you all had that great team chemistry, there is serious power in that. Yeah. I mean, that can't go unnoticed by management or corporate or the CEO or whoever it is, because and oftentimes it is because, I mean, you're at the bottom of the totem pole, right? Mm-hmm. And for the most part, you're out of sight, out of mind.
Mm-hmm.
They literally see you as money.
Right.
And if it's not making that, then you're not doing anything. But I don't think that people understand, like, you could do the job. Like, we've had servers that just do the job, right? They can make money. Like, that's not the issue. But if you do the job and then you go home and they're just like, oh, okay, I ate, I got my food, I left, right? That's the end of it. That's where the money stops. When you see a family dynamic, when you see people laughing and giggling, because we would like, even if we were talking to our separate tables, we would turn, joke. The tables would interact with us. The tables would interact with each other. We would literally be on different sides singing happy birthday to people who we definitely don't know. We definitely not serving, but it was a family thing. So we was coming together. And now those people are leaving, and they're like, yo, my server here was hilarious. They were so good here. They were da-da-da-da-da. And then they come back and they're like, oh, yeah, that burger that you recommended me, oh my gosh, it was so good. I had to bring my cousin. Now, like, you don't realize what turning things into a friendship, like how much power that is. Like, relatability is so much more profitable than robots. Like,
yeah. I mean, because we even see it now. You brought up the whole robot thing. We even see it now with these self-service kiosks at McDonald's or some
Farms.
Yeah, a lot of these other places. And I mean I understand the convenience of it, because you can just walk up right up to it, do what you need to do, pay for your stuff, and walk out, right?
Right.
But what's taken away from the experience is the human factor of it, and that goes back to what we was talking about last week.
That robot don't got no context.
No, I mean it's no emotions. It's no interaction other than your payment accepted or declined. Right. I mean that's the interaction. There isn't no good morning, how you doing, how's everything going. And
not even that big. It's just little things like,
yeah,
I want my pickles on the side. I want like mayonnaise. You know what I'm saying? I'm allergic to this and all that. Some of that kiosk stuff don't got that.
Look, and sometimes you just do need to explain something. Like, if you're like, if somebody's like, oh, can I don't even know. But some people be saying some crazy stuff. They be like, oh, can I get a cheeseburger with, no, they say, can I get a bacon cheeseburger with no bacon and no cheese? And they be like, and then, no disrespect, don't get me wrong, I'll be looking at them like they
so you want a silver burger?
No, but then you be like, so do you just want a hamburger? Like you cannot get that from, because a Ziosk will charge you for a bacon cheeseburger, which is more expensive, and take it off. When I could be more ethical and being like, you know what, I get that you're willing to spend your money on this, but like, I'm gonna help you out, because there's no need to do that. Like, just get this and then add this, and it's cheaper, and you still get everything you want. But only human interaction, really caring, having consideration is going to give you that experience. And then they're like, oh, thank you for helping me with that. Or they order something and they're like, oh, is this spicy? Because I can't handle that. Like, you need to be able to have these interactions. That is what creates a great experience, not just in food, but just with anything. That's why when we go to concerts, there's meet and greets, or like even when you go to Disney World, like, we all watch Disney princesses on the TV, but it's something about going to Disney World and seeing the live princess in front of you. Yeah. That's like, oh my gosh, like, you just having those individual interactions is what makes
the experience.
Which is what makes the experience. Like, we're social beings. It has to happen. We will literally go insane. Like, literally a form of punishment is like being in like solitude, like being by yourself, like not interacting with people, which is why so many people were going through mental health issues, like during the pandemic, when we were all like, we had to social distance because you were locked with yourself. Like, that is a terrifying thing. Like, you realize you do not know who you are.
I still don't think we fully understand the science of what happened behind the pandemic.
Yeah,
like in all facets.
As far as the science of what, like
what happened to us mentally?
As far as our brains.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about
not
COVID.
Nigga, I don't get it.
Yeah, not the
medical. We don't understand.
Yeah, not the medical science in the sense of like the virus itself and what it did.
So? I don't think so, and let me tell you why I don't think so. Because the economic status of this country it really hurt. Like, it got really hurt.
Somebody did, and I ain't saying we did. Somebody did this on purpose.
on porpoise.
This was made.
Well,
this ain't just naturally happen.
Well,
I don't believe that.
Well,
No.
so what I will say, I'm not going to get into the conspiracy theory realm.
I'm not either. I'm just saying that what naturally.
What I will say is
it just naturally happened. You think that it just naturally this the flu just naturally just mutated.
Okay, but this the thing.
Into COVID-19.
It doesn't necessarily mean like it was on purpose. It doesn't have to be on purpose that way. But sometimes it could be an accident. Like what? If,
accident?
Yeah, an accident. I said what I said. You heard what I said.
Yeah.
And like sometimes people do stupid. Like people are crazy. Like some people could do some stupid stuff.
They'll probably tinkering with some dumbass shit.
Because think about it. Even with like STDs, like people was sleeping with animals. Like people do some.
No, you right.
People do some crazy stuff, and then stuff exists.
I just heard a BCI story the other day. I said that's crazy.
Let's not even get into it. But I'm talking about.
Not at all. Don't pour up on here, please.
Look, but the point is, people do stupid stuff because humans are just nasty,
Yeah.
and
no
then
reason.
things exist, and then it spread, and now this world just.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm gonna say about how, it might have started or whatever, just because scientists, what they do.
They like to tinker.
Scientists and doctors, they like to
They some
tinker
tinkering-ass
and
motherfuckers,
pry and poke and see, and experiment on different things to see, what will happen for their own research for various different reasons. So sometimes in the process of that tinkering, things occur. They get out into the environment, the world, and the rest is history.
Do you think that the zombie apocalypse could actually happen?
Yes.
It
I do
could happen.
too.
Yes.
I do too. No,
I do.
because of that
Because
reason.
they tinker. Shit, they tinkering with shit. What was the movie? Was it Jurassic Park when they were saying y'all thinking that if we could do it instead of we should do it.
Should do what?
Should tinker whatever. You know what I'm saying? They
Stop
tinker in that movie and guess what happened?
Stop touching stuff. Keep your hands together.
Put your hands on. What James Brown said, get up off that thing. I don't get it. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like.
But think about it like this too. Like, think of all the diseases and viruses that are tucked away in a freezer somewhere
for them to tinker with
throughout this country or throughout this world. Look at the North and the South Pole, for example. Right, it's frozen. Right. Mm-hmm. There are so many diseases and viruses that are frozen right now that might not be frozen too much longer.
Also, there are
polio about to come back. I heard. I said, just get the hell out of here.
Also, there are diseases that are being concealed. Like, think about it. Like, as soon as you come out, they like vaccine. Like, when you're, I mean, obviously, there's crunchy moms who are like, oh, I'm not going to do that. But like, a lot of moms or birth givers, they be shooting, the kids up. They be like, okay, this vaccine, and so they're like, you don't want smallpox, you don't want you don't want all of this stuff. So it's very possible. Like, think about it. Like okay, I don't celebrate really Thanksgiving because I'm indigenous, but like a lot of my family does, and like when we talk about it, like I be like, yo, like Europeans really came over and like brought diseases over. Like my people dead. Just dropping like flies because of what? Something that was not, their immune system was not set up to be able to handle it. So it's like, disease is so diverse. And then even going back to like when we said like the STDs, there are certain things that only show up in women. There are certain things that only show up in men. They can both have it, but only one affects their actual livelihood. And like, child,
that's crazy. That's crazy how America was the foundation. From smallpox. That's how they got.
I was about to say.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
We didn't create.
It was built. It was built.
We didn't create anything.
It was built because they took it over by giving them smallpox. If you think about it, every indigenous people and settlers came in. What happened? That's crazy to think about.
I mean,
but
they got wiped
truth.
out. They got wiped out by disease for the most part. It wasn't fighting.
Europeans was just over there with just all type of stuff. You know the reason why they was wearing wigs and stuff because they had like what's the word? They had some kind of disease up there. It was terrible. That's why they was wearing wigs and stuff. I forgot the name of it, but it was terrible. It was wingworms and all that. Worse than wingworms and all that. I'm telling you. They was over there fucked up, teeth rotten, all that. They couldn't drink the water. They was drunk all the time because they couldn't drink the water. Like, it was a lot going on over there.
Well,
it was a lot.
It's a lot.
All right.
Did
let's get into the.
Did you all get into the topic?
Nope. I ain't introduced her or nothing. I had to get that off my chest.
You didn't introduce her.
No, I had to get it off my chest. It irritated me. I'm sorry.
It's a random woman just sitting in the
It took.
Do the honors, bro. Do the honors.
Today we have on the show. This is one of the most mature young person that I came across in ever. As a grown ass man. She's our intern. Not only is she an intern,
talented.
She's a dancer. She's in college. She's just a wonderful person, and she's a teacher as well. She teaches dance as well. She's one of the little youngins that I worked with at Red Robin, and that I used to give game to, and I just see potential. Potential to, not in that way. I'm talking about advice.
Mentorship. Mentorship. Yeah,
we knew what you was talking about.
All right, no, just like when you do that, I'm talking about the audience. When you react like that, they be like, "Oh, what is he on?
No, I'm just.
What is this bald head dude on?"
No. I didn't mean it like that. I just meant it like the things that I was even asking for advice for. Those situations was but
yeah.
Yes.
But this is Tiara. So before we go into your topics, this is your topic. I mean, this is what you want to talk about, and we're going to talk about it. But just introduce yourself. You know, tell us a little bit about yourself that I ain't already say.
All right. Well, again, my name's Tiara Monet. I turned 20 on Tuesday.
Oh my goodness!
So no more teenager for me. I'm so excited. Like Cordell said, I'm a dance coach at Bowie High School, and I'm a full-time student. I'm on a semi-pro dance team, the DMV Lady Warriors. And coming up this January, I will be competing in the Miss Montgomery County pageant
I definitely forgot about
to advocate for art programs like dance, theater, chorus, things like that in the school system, both in and outside the school system. Because, you know, we all have like basic art classes, but we don't have fully funded teams, so we have nice uniforms. We can afford to go to competitions or have elaborate, you know, like productions like in theater and stuff. And so as somebody that grew up doing that,
Me too.
like I want to be able to give back. So yes, that's me. That's a little bit about me.
That's awesome.
Just real quick before we jump into the topic, Brian, I sent you a clip that I want you to play. I'm sure y'all have seen it by now, but I think it's a perfect segue into the topic we're going to talk about. All right, but basically what the clip is Trevor Noah's goodbye.
Yes.
On the Daily Show, because he's hosted that the past 7 years, and it's really riveting and powerful stuff. And you know, a lot of the topics we talk about on this show, just basically encapsulates his goodbye message. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Trevor Noah is also one of my favorite, like just talk show hosts in general, because a little shout out to him, even though, you know, who knows if he would ever see this, but a little shout out to him is that like he is not just talking to the people that he has on the show or about the topics. He actually educates himself. You can tell that he reads. Do you know what I mean by that? Like when you talk to somebody, you can tell when they read or if they read. Even with the way that they send text messages or how they write. Like you'll be like, oh, I can tell you read books or you inform yourself on topics. And he doesn't just talk out of his neck. He's a very he's personal, but he's objective. He finds a perfect balance between being objective and personal, and I admire him. And as somebody who wants to work in TV as a talk show host or as an anchor, he is definitely someone that I look up to in that way.
I've taken some tips from him, just even with our show, as far as because obviously, as a show and and as a host, I don't know everything, but the things that we discuss on the show, the subject matter experts that we've had on the show, they are the ones who are educating us on what it is they do and what it's about and all of that. And so I like how Trevor, it's a balance between not only running your show the way you want to run it, but also running it in a way in which you're still getting the message across to your audience the right way, without diluting it just because you feel like, oh, I'm the host, so I'm. See,
and that's what I was saying. He was staying objective,
exactly,
and still being personal. He's I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So at some point we'll play the clip for you guys, but let's go ahead and jump into the topic. Show topic, T. Right. Go ahead.
So I wanted to discuss and ask, I guess, because it's kind of both. Just kind of like the difference between toxic masculinity, that because everybody loves using that word, throwing it around, toxic masculinity, but and just masculinity, and then there being a hatred for it, because I feel like as someone who, my age, social media is a huge thing, okay, and you are what you feed, like, how like even it goes back like with the Bible where it says like you got to protect your mind and your heart because like what you feed yourself is who you become. And so like I'm listening to all these things and I'm like, it goes so much against from what I was taught or what I thought myself. And sometimes when I hear things, I say, yes, absolutely, like that is toxic masculinity, like that is disgusting, how dare you say this, how dare you do this or think like this. But then there are certain things that just seem like a man thing. And then some people just hate men. And if you can't confuse your hatred for men with it being toxic masculinity. So I wanted to ask you two gentlemen, as someone who has, interacted with women older and younger than you in your adolescence and as an adult, where do you find, like, how is it difficult trying to navigate that constantly being thrown at you, especially as black men, like that narrative being thrown at you?
Well, first of all, I'm just going to say that toxic masculinity was made up by women. That didn't come from us as men. Second of all, it's
because usually with toxic masculinity, we just call them douches. Like he's a douche. Like all douches have toxic masculinity, meatheads, all that. You know what I'm saying? So it was never like toxic masculinity. It was just like, oh, okay, you're a meathead. You know what I'm saying?
But
you're
it's
a
not.
Douche, you know what I'm saying?
It's not always that though.
No, it's not always that.
Because something that I believe is toxic masculinity that I don't think that you guys call like a douche or whatever is, you know how men will say, no one cares about our feelings. Like women, like they can talk about their feelings and their emotions, but nobody really cares about a man's feelings,
it's
right?
True.
But it's like, who told y'all that? Women told y'all that we don't care about your feelings?
No, experience taught us that.
No. Experience with women.
It's all the above.
Because when I hear men talk about it, typically, like it's just like they be like, oh, like my dad or my uncles be like, yo, stop crying, boy. Like men don't do that. It's like that sounds like you were taught that you can't show your emotions by other men.
That's two different things.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's
not.
That is two different things. When we say nobody care about our feelings, we say that about we say that about that too, and how females carry us in certain situations as far as mutual feelings. There's a lot of women out here that think that we should do all the work and they should do nothing until they're married. It's a lot of women like out here. Like, you know the 80-20 rule? You know the real 80-20 rule? This one woman, when we had Timo and them on, she switched the 80-20 rule. The original 80-20 rule is when you're with somebody that has 80% of what you need and you leave them for the person that has that 20. That's the 80-20 rule. With some lady that came on their show said the 80-20 rule is when the man put up 80% of the love and the action in the relationship, and the woman only presents 20. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Absolutely. However, alongside,
that's what I'm saying.
For sure.
When we say everybody, we say everybody, but it differently.
For sure.
They bash our feelings.
For sure.
It's not the same, but they both do it.
But I
in different ways.
But I think they can be the same in different fonts, and this is what I mean by that. Okay. So if you know, your uncles, your dad, your grandpa, whomever, right, is like, stop doing that, boys don't cry, da 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 da. I don't know how they talk to y'all. I'm not a man. I don't know. But, they do that, right? You grow up thinking, okay, I can't do this. So then what you learned as an adolescent, you bring that into your adult relationships, whether it's romantic, platonic, in family. You bring that into all of your relationships, right?
Everything, yeah.
Exactly, right? So now, what is seen a lot in romantic relationships is this. Because men are so used to not bringing up their emotions, they don't bring it up until there's several things built up. They built that mess up. Sorry, I can't cuss. I'm trying to.
No, you're good. No, you're good. Yeah, you don't have to. You're good. You don't have to. But that's when it becomes toxic.
They build it up. They build it up, right? And then okay. Ooh, now we're really about to get into it. Are you ready? Look at me when I say this. Listen. I need to make sure that you're looking at me. You know how a lot of people on these podcasts and everything, they be like, women are more emotional and men are more logical. I don't believe that, and this is why. I think men are more solution-based, not logical. There are so many men who will feel like they didn't get enough for their woman and then cheat. Cheating is an emotional action. You cannot say that you're not emotional. That was emotional as heck. You did something because your feelings were hurt. That's okay. That's okay that you're emotional. Because women are emotional as in we talk about our emotions more. We'll say, you hurt my feelings. Men won't say that we hurt their feelings, and then they do stuff. They're solution-based. They do things about it. Women will talk about their emotions. So would I say that women are more emotional? No. I don't think that we're more emotional. I think we're more expressive, like we talk about them more, and men are more solution-based, but we are just as emotional as one another.
Okay, let's play the video real quick, and then we'll jump back into it.
I'm eternally grateful to you. And this is random for some, but special shout out to black women. I've often been credited with, having these grand ideas of people like, oh, Trevor, you're so smart and you're so, and then I'm like, who do you think teaches me? Who do you think has shaped me, nourished me, informed me? From my mom, my gran, my aunt, all these black women in my life, but then in America as well. I always tell people, if you truly want to learn about America, talk to black women. Yeah, because unlike everybody else, black women cannot afford to f around and find out. Black people understand how hard it is when things go bad, especially in America, but any place where black people exist, whether it's Brazil, whether it's South Africa, wherever it is, when things go bad, black people know that it gets worse for them. But black women in particular, they know what shit is, genuinely. People always be shocked. They'll be like, why do black women turn out the way they do in America? Why do they vote the way? Yeah, because they know what happens if things do not go the way it should. They cannot afford to around and find out. And to black women who have taught me, all of them, I mean, the scholars online, the authors, everybody, the Roxanne Gays, the Tressie McMillan Cottons, I'll remember the names, the Zoe Tamudzis, the like brilliant, brilliant women have taken the time to inform me, to educate me, to argue with me, the Tarana Burks who, who laughed with me, talking about everything from sexual assault to just what life is like. Yeah, man, I'll tell you now, do yourself a favor. You truly want to know what to do or how to do it, or maybe the best way or the most equitable way, talk to black women. They're a lot of the reasons.
I love the fact that he said that.
Shout out.
I love the fact that he said that.
The reason why I wanted to play that clip is because, there's such a and it's going to tie into our topic, but it's such a huge divide between us and our sisters. When our grandparents and our great grandparents was growing up, there wasn't a divide as far as understanding each other, right? I mean, there might have been some craziness or some toxic stuff going on, but there was still a sense of family and belonging and needing each other, right? And that clip, I kind of got emotional when I first seen the clip, just because at the end of the day, especially when it comes to just black women as a whole, I would do any and everything I need to do for our sisters, right? But the flip side of it too is there are sisters out there who like really know shit. Like, nah, like I don't want nothing to do with you or y'all, right? Just because of different experiences and whatnot. Yeah. And Trevor's message shows that there are still plenty of black men out here who know that how important black women are, because we all understand that black women are at the bottom of the totem pole in society, right? It's not fair.
First of all,
especially
you're a woman. You know how long it took women to get some kind of rights?
No.
Then you're black. On top of that, I tell everybody all the time, the hardest,
Look, and then on top of that, you better pray you're straight.
Yeah.
Because
if you're gay,
if you gay and you black and you a woman,
man.
Look, and then don't be disabled of any sort. Don't have no type of disability. Yeah. Don't be handicapped of any sort. Because people don't care.
That's why it's so frustrating. It's conflicting because, the certain females that we seen in our generation that has toxic femininity, that a lot of that is not talked about enough, that, stray away from our feelings. Is conflicting because in every aspect of my life and a lot of black men's life, it was a black woman that helped us out of that. When I was in elementary school, it was Miss Cooper. You know what I'm saying? When I was in YMCA, it was Miss Talia, it was Miss King, it was Miss Vanessa. When I was in middle school, it was Miss Robinson. You know what I'm saying? And Miss Cumberbatch. It was certain women like that. You know what I'm saying? My mother, my sister. You know what I'm saying? My aunties, my little sister. You know what I'm saying? Veronica, when I was in Red Robin. Right now, Miss Tabitha and BJ's. You know what I'm saying? It's always black women that will have my back and really, you know what I'm saying? To make sure, black man, be good today. I need you to be straight today. And then you go out in the field and you try to date, and it was like, where's the disconnect from the women that been helping me? And then when I try to find that in companionship, it's like it's nowhere to be found. And then you because what?
Okay, so I'm not saying for everybody, right? Because there's always exceptions to the rule. Everything that I say, no, I know. I'm just saying. I want to put. I want to put that disclaimer. No, I know. I just want to put that disclaimer out there that everything that I say is, there's always exceptions to the rule. I just think that, and this is a thought, that Black women have felt so hurt and betrayed by their own men that they go into a survival mode instead of the world allowing them. Okay, oh my gosh, now I'm shaking. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. This world because I've heard a lot of beautiful stories. This country specifically has put Black women between a rock and a hard place, and it has forced them to feel like they have to be in a constant survival mode, whether that is from their country or it is from their own people. And when you go into survival mode, that mode is masculine. You have to, like, think about it. Like, when people talk about the traditional roles, right? Like, the man is supposed to be the protector. But if you're a woman and the man is not protecting you, who's going to protect you? Now you got you. So now you have to be the masculinity that you need. And so now it's like, nah, forget you. Like, even there was TikToks where I've seen white men, Middle Eastern men, Hispanic men that are like, I got some Black friends. And there's even Asian women, Hispanic women, white women that are like, I started dating Black men. And I have never met a group of people that hate their women as much as Black men do. I have never, and they could be like this, I have never met a group of men who will talk down on their own women to make the woman that they're pursuing seem more appealing to them. Like they'll be like, why do you like me? And they'd be like, oh, well, it's because Black women are too loud, or they da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And the Latina girl would be like, I didn't ask that. I didn't ask what you think about Black women. Like, when did I ask you that? And it's like, and even when it comes to comedy, I'm not saying that I'm not attacking nobody specific, but like, even when I see the difference between like white comedy shows and Black comedy shows, the Black woman is the butt of a lot of jokes. White comedians do not joke about their women. Maybe their mom, maybe like white stereotypes, but they don't actually joke about them. It's not a joke. Their women are not a joke. And so it's significantly more like
I
this
ain't
the
gonna
thing.
say they don't do it as much.
No, but it's
they
to a
don't do
different
it at all.
right.
But they do it.
I didn't say they don't do it at all. I said they don't do it as. That's why I said they may joke about like stereotypes or like their mom or like certain people, but it's not usually like a whole show is centered around them making fun of their women. That's typically not their area of comedy. And so it's like, okay, so if I'm the butt of the joke and I'm not attractive to you, and even if you are attracted to me, you're attracted to the most European of us, which is, the light-skinned woman with the Eurocentric features and the loose hair. And these are what you're saying that you're attracted to. We see it in music videos. We see it with the girls that you date. We see all of this, right? Or maybe you even dated a Black girl, but as soon as you got money, you started dating white women? It's like, okay, now it's like, nah, you know what? Okay. And the craziest part is, a lot of that, this is the part that boggles me. On top of that, with a lot of Black women talking about all the complaints that they have about these issues, majority of the Black women I know still will only date Black men. On top of
That's true.
On top of it, they will legit be like, yo, Black men treat me like this. These are all the experiences that I have, but I love my men. I love them. And you do, and yes, don't get me wrong, you have your here and there's with Black men, but like, can you name me, like, I want to say three artists that are like, oh my gosh, I love my chocolate women.
3 artists? Yeah.
I'm dating a Black girl, because a lot of people say I don't have a type. I don't have a type doesn't count.
I can name 3 right now.
Please, I would love to hear it. Please inform me. I'm here to be educated, because I don't see it represented like that. Tank?
As far as
that's the first person that come up.
What are you talking about as far as women or
they
like relationship wise, they're like I love chocolate women.
Yeah,
and
Tank
and
is
if
one
you
of the
say you
first
like
to come
it,
to mind.
and like, don't get me wrong, like
Oh, okay. As far as artists saying they love black women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, it's few and far between that like express it. But
because most of the music that I hear is Redbone, this, and I'm like, that's cool. Like,
you
don't-
talking about
like-
specific?
like,
Oh,
no, I'm talking
yeah,
about.
that's
I'm
a
talking,
point. Yeah,
I'm talking
that's a
about.
good
I'm talking
point.
about. Tell me
a
someone.
good- that's
tell
a
me,
good
like,
point.
please,
That's
please
a good point.
look. You see me as a teenage woman, right? A teenage woman. I know it's a contradiction, but I said what I said.
She said chocolate specifically.
Like
now,
no,
that's some
no,
dig,
please
that's some,
tell
you
me,
gotta dig deep,
as
though.
somebody that you see, and I look at y'all as mentors.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me someone that I can look up to, that I know that I'm beautiful in music.
Well, Tank. But I can't think of nobody else.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying.
That's really ridiculous.
Yo, but I'm
to think
saying,
about.
but
you
I'm
said chocolate specifically.
I'm talking about
You didn't say black
and this is the
women.
thing.
You said chocolate specifically.
not
Are
black
you?
specifically. I'm talking about chocolate. I'm talking about brown to dark.
Yeah.
Brown to
That's
dark.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Not mixed.
It's not a lot of.
Not light skin. I'm
It's
talking
not
about
a lot of
brown
them
to
out
dark, where
there.
because
They're out there. It's hard to
okay,
name them.
So when you hear all of that, right, and then you see the brown, because keep in mind the people that be rioting, the people that be having the uproar when people get shot, anybody
it's
injustice.
certain
You know who be out there? Us.
Yeah, because it's certain people that say it, but
Us.
then they date opposite. So it's like I can't bring their name.
Okay,
up.
exactly. So when
Like
you
Diddy say it, but like he was with Cassie.
Okay,
Like you know, what
exactly.
I'm saying?
That's a terrible example.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
That's why I didn't say it. That's why I
That-
originally
but
didn't
you see,
say
and
it.
that's what I'm saying.
That's why
He say it, but
Yeah.
like he
You be
dates
si-
the opposite.
That's what
So
I'm
it's
saying.
like
So you see us.
John
right, in the
Legend
fifth-
say it, but he got an
He's
Asian
done-
woman. You know,
like I was about to say, let's not even get into it. That's what I'm saying. So when you see women like me and darker, right, that be out here rioting, having the uproar, supporting our men, this, that, and the third, but then we not even beautiful to y'all. Like, yeah. When you say, "Oh, where are these women?" They don't want to be settled for. I don't want you to come to me because you can't find a red bone with a big butt that wants you. Heck no. Oh my gosh, that, because even, okay, you know this. Ooh, child, we about to, it's itching, just making me itch just thinking about it. Listen.
AJ said D'Angelo, brown sugar.
Yes.
Okay.
But like he's so like D'Angelo, yeah.
But listen. Even with my ex, and we talked about this, right? I was like, you know what? Because okay, you don't know this, but I was cheated on, and so I, after doing some reflecting, when I talk about it, I literally tell people, you know what? It was my fault that I was cheated on. It was my fault, and people will say, just like that face you making, why is it your fault? And I
You
said,
just never
I
talked about that to me before. This is my first time hearing.
Yeah, no, this is the first time. No, I'm saying you knew about the cheating.
Yeah, of course.
And I was saying this. He had 3 exes before me. All of them light skinned. All of them thick women. And if they weren't mixed, they just still had loose curly hair for some reason. He told me he didn't have a type. I said, okay, right? The woman that he cheated on me with looks the exact same as those other women. I said, oh, I was naive. Because I heard what you said. But how is the man dating 3 women in a row that look the same not have a type? Like and literally I told him, I was like, you could have just not messed with me. Like there were plenty of women that are the description that you like, where you could have been like, you're a beautiful woman, but I just don't, like, you just don't gotta be my girl. Right? Now you wasting my time. Don't get me wrong, he was my type. I think that he's a very attractive man. Even though he disrespected me, I can't ignore it. He's a good looking man. But he's my type. And I wasn't his. So like now I'm sitting here and I'm like, can I even listen to what y'all say? Because you said you don't have a type, but did you say you don't have a type so you're not canceled? That you're seen as not colorist? Because and this is the thing. Even at Red Robin, there was somebody who said something that was misogynistic, and I told him, I was like, oh, what you said was misogynistic, and he was like, no, and I told him, I said, yo, chill. I don't care. I really don't care that you're misogynistic. I just want you to know that what you said was misogynistic. Like I was like I don't care about your, like, I don't care about how you see me as a woman. I'm very secure in who I am. I just want you to know that if you say that around the wrong woman,
You might get popped.
You might get popped.
Can I?
So I don't really get. But that's what I'm saying. I'm very like objective in that way. You could be like, I'm just not attracted to you. Let's not mess with each other then. Like you're not gonna hurt me by not liking me.
I'm glad you said this. Because for me, I struggle with that because from an early age, I've been mostly attracted to light skin. Okay. My mother told me at an early age, baby, it's other spectrum of black women out here. You know what I'm saying? It's just not one specific that you can look at, but they're all beautiful. Which growing up, you know what I'm saying, I'm attracted to all. But what I prefer, light skin. Now, what she's saying, and then hearing my sister, and you know what I'm saying, hearing my aunties, what they went through and all that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, like, I love dark-skinned women. I love brown-skinned women.
You just don't want to make love to them.
Women.
And that's
no,
fine.
That's not true. What I'm saying is...
That's true. That's what he just said.
No, that's not true. Just because I prefer not to compare y'all to McDonald's, but just because I prefer McDonald's, that don't mean I wouldn't go to Burger King. I wouldn't go to Wendy's.
But I don't want to be settled for. I want to be the woman of your dreams. And when you close your eyes and you see behind your eyelids, you need to see me. Not a light skin. Thank you.
No, but what I'm saying is just because I prefer it, that doesn't mean my soulmate would not be a dark skinned woman. It won't be a brown skinned woman. That's just something that I'm mostly attracted to, which from my ex, I don't want to be.
Listen.
Because what you said, I heard what she said. I heard the red flags that she spewed out. And I said, I'm not going to go through that because I'm that dude. And she ended up doing me greasy. Now, do you really think that I want to go through that again? I don't want to go through that again. It's not the fact that I'm strictly like, oh, I'm just going to date just light skin. No, why would I do that? If I'm starting to talk to a young lady and I like her personality, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go smack. And if I feel that it's potential, I'm gonna go at it. What I went through the last joint I talked to that did me greasy, that used to eat at Red Robin. Yeah. She was dark skinned. Yeah.
Okay.
And you saw the effort that I put into it.
Wait. Your girl is black, right? Okay, I gotta ask this question. Okay.
Of course she is.
No, don't say of course, that's wild. Okay.
No, of course she is.
Okay.
Well, for me anyway,
Her skin tone is what?
Chocolate.
Chocolate, like brown, or chocolate like dark?
No, chocolate.
Okay.
She's chocolate.
Is that your type?
Yes.
Okay.
That's mostly who he.
Oh no! I'm not coming for him. I'm happy. You know, look, woo, love that, love that. But okay. So would you say that you have a type? Like, are you okay? In the hypothetical that you were single, could you date any shade of black woman?
Yes.
Okay. So, wait. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, say this amazing personality that your girl has, right? Mm-hmm. Say you met that in like a light skinned woman first, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, like it's going well, right? Mm-hmm. But then you say you meet your girl. Mm-hmm. She has the same amazing personality, but she's everything that you want to look at. Mm-hmm. And you and the light skinned girl not dating, or y'all not married or nothing. Mm-hmm. You ain't going for her. You gonna stay loyal because I already made. Come on, you're gonna go for what you want to see. Like I said, when you close your eyes and you look behind your eyes.
So for me,
you need to see me. I need to be exactly what you want to look at, hear, be next to, everything.
So for me,
You think you slick?
I'm not slick. That's real.
So for me, you know, of course, you know, men, we are visual creatures, and we love,
which is not
beautiful women.
That's why I'm confused.
No,
females do it too.
Right, but females will say it. We be like, no, we want you to be 6 foot. We want
so
you to be
because we don't
skin,
say it, it's a difference. What are you talking about?
No.
I know women that match the perfect man, and because he's 5'4", he not fucking with him. What are you talking about?
5'4". Jesus.
Yeah.
Well,
that's true though.
But
listen. That's don't do that because
What?
Because
You just did the same thing. You
listen,
just did-
I know, but this the thing. I'm not mad at you, okay? I'm happy that you got
I'm just
your
saying
type.
it's the same-
I'm
Go
happy
ahead.
that you got your type. I am not jealous of light-skinned women in the slightest. Okay, beautiful women.
So for me,
But when everybody's preference is the same thing, what we gonna do? And then let's really make it hurt. When brown and dark skinned women are majority of their own men's not their type, right? And then those will be the same black men that get upset when we date white men.
well, okay, let me just say this.
Somebody who want us.
Well,
That hits a
It
little-
does
She
because
left me for a white man,
because
so-
I'm not
Well,
talking
let
about
me-
her.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking
though,
about in general.
can't
In
just-
general.
that
well,
really
let me
does
just say a
something to my
couple of
spirit.
things. Number one, white men aren't running across the aisle to marry black women.
True.
They're not doing that.
There's some anomalies, but that's
Also, we have to also understand, where did this all start from?
Slavery.
No, who started it? White men, right? The snowball effect that we see right now.
Yeah.
we can't continue to let that.
No, but understand.
No,
but
no,
this
we
is
ju-
but
we
this
just
is
have
what,
to acknowledge
but this is
that.
what I'm saying
Yeah,
though,
we
because
gotta
this is what I'm saying though, because you know, during those times, white men slept with black women, and it wasn't that black woman's choice to do it. We all know that, right?
Sure.
Also, you have to understand the laws and the legislation that's been passed as well to create this dynamic we have today, where black women are walking around as if they don't need us because of the programs that has been passed in a way to remove us from the house.
But on top of, that's also along with
Of course.
the discussion that we said
Of course.
earlier.
Of course.
Because it's not just those systems. Like my thought is this. It's like, if everybody is choosing this specific type of black, if they even do choose a black woman, they're choosing this specific type of black woman, right? And that leaves the brown to dark skinned women out here alone, right? And so then you go into that survival mode, like I was talking about. Now you're in your masculinity and you taking care of yourself. You're going to work, paying your bills, you're doing all of this. Exactly. So then because I didn't even get the chance to be feminine, right? Because no one is approaching me in that way. Then
When you get approached,
I quite literally do not need you, and not I'm walking around like I hate men, I don't need you. But quite literally, it has been proven that when I'm put into a situation where I need to survive without men, I can do so. So now I'm in this position where if I've been living like that for years, and then black men be like, oh no, you need to be feminine. And it's like, hold up, wait a minute. Because I was doing this before you got here. And now you just walking in here thinking that you entitled simply because you were born with a penis?
Well, well, no, it's not. It's not.
No, but then be willing to be like, cause a lot, and not just black men.
We're
Not
raising
just-
y'all to be men.
Look, not just black men, but men. Period. Right?
We talked about this.
There
We
is
did
there
hit
is
dates.
there is a lot of demand. Like, okay,
It's a lot of
something
demand on
that
our end,
look. That's what I'm
too.
saying. I admire this about men. I am not complaining when I say this, but men do not date for potential. Y'all date exactly what is in front of y'all. How do you look? How do you act? Are you established? Or even if you're not established, are you ambitious? Can I see the goals? Do you seem like you'd be a good mother if we were to have kids? All of this, etc. While women will date potential. And that's where we kind of go wrong sometimes. We
Yeah, y'all care about the future, we care
he's
about the
not,
past.
He's not this, but he said he's going to do this.
Yeah,
right?
Y'all care about the future, and we care about the past.
Exactly. And so
we don't want to go through go through prior situations. So if we know you've been doing certain things that we don't like in the past, then it's going to stray away from us. But if you see, if you as a woman see the potential in somebody, y'all will go after it.
Right.
But if with us, if you got a clean past, we would go after that.
Okay.
It's just the preference of men overall.
Okay, and I'm not mad at you for this, but if you date exactly what you want, like you expect to see exactly what you want in the beginning, right? Then in what area are you actually building? You want her to be there to build you up? Is that what you mean by building? You want her to have the patience to wait for you to build? Because it sounds like men want you to be built by the time they get to you.
You talking about women?
I'm talking.
I mean, y'all doing the same.
No,
way,
women date. No, they will date potential people. Men will. I mean, women will see a
but
man
once you
that
don't reach that certain potential that you thought. Was
okay, but after a while
even
though,
if he's good, even
no,
if
but
he's good to you.
no, but I'm saying after a while though,
No,
men
listen to what I
date
just
exactly
said, though.
what
even
they.
if he's good to you.
Okay.
Oh, I thought
not-
he was gonna be
I'm
a
not-
doctor and this like this. I seen women leave truck drivers because he wasn't good.
I'm not
he
saying.
thought he was gonna be better
I'm
than
not
them.
saying
So that's
that
the
they're.
same thing, just
No,
differently.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, because your intention in the beginning does matter. If a woman is dating somebody who has potential, right?
Yes.
And then after a while, right? Then she's like, okay, you haven't met the potential.
Potential for what though?
But
That's what I'm saying,
of being a suitable life partner. Because that's
but here's what I'm saying to you, and I've
Okay,
seen a lot
you get right
and
here
I've
on
seen
it.
a lot of
Okay.
women
Yeah, you get right here
I've
on
seen a lot of women say this out loud
Yeah.
on videos.
Yeah.
It's not the suitable. The person can be a suitable person for that person, but because they didn't reach a certain landmark that she thought that she had when she got there, she will leave that person. He's successful. He take care of you, but he don't take care of you how much you thought he would take care of you
Okay.
Financially.
And they will leave that good dude and try to find something. That 80-20 shit.
Yeah.
Y'all do the same thing just differently. It's the same shit.
I
It's
asked,
just differently.
but it's different. That's what I'm saying.
It's different because y'all focus on the future and we focus on the past. and present.
Okay, listen.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait,
to you.
no, but hear me.
I'm not saying it's not
Mr.
right.
Sir. Hear me, Mr. Sir. Listen.
Go ahead.
Listen. So if you tell me I'm gonna be a doctor, right? And I'm like, okay. And I know that there's a certain lifestyle that I want to live.
Joe said hit the bell.
And I know that there's a certain lifestyle that I want to live. I'm not saying this is me specifically, but you want to live a certain lifestyle and you're like, oh, okay. Like say they're my age and so they're like, oh, I'm going to pursue this degree. So then they decide not to, like somewhere down the line, and then they kind of lose ambition. And don't get me wrong, a great guy morally. But wait,
Let her finish.
No. And you're doing this, right? And then I see and then I'm trying to support you and like try to build you up. But like sometimes, a man just got to do what a man's got to do. Like you can't hear the advice. You just got to do it, or you got to learn the hard way, and this, that, and the third. And then after years, you're put in a position where you're kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. Like I don't know where, like it's feeling shaky and rocky because now your word is not Bible. Your word is fragile. Like it can easily be broken as soon as an inconvenience happens with your emotion or your mental or this, that, and the third, right? So now, again, he could be a great guy, but you don't know the in-depths about their relationship, right? And she can express her issues because, like I said earlier, women are vocal about their issues. They'll be like, hey, this is a problem or da-da-da-da-da, this, that, etc. So you're moving like that. Then the woman breaks up. She seems like she's a bad person, right? But they could have been in a relationship where she was talking about it, communicating, and it didn't feel like they were both meeting halfway, right? Which is, I'm not saying that it's necessarily right or wrong. I'm just saying I've seen a lot of situations like that, right? But technically, she was there to build. It just broke, okay? Going back with men being more focused on the past, right? If you want your woman to be everything you want her to be when you meet her, right? Then the real thing is you want her to be there while you build. You don't want to build with her because you want her to be what you want her to be already.
Not necessarily.
I mean, no.
Let me.
Because most of our men. See, that's the issue.
But
when
do you
it comes
hear the
to
perspective that I'm saying? Because I know I'm not
here's
crazy.
Here's the thing. No, because that's the problem with us sometimes. With us, because we want that. We don't be together. How many times you seen a brother that's not together had a woman that's a good woman, but because he wasn't together, that's why it didn't work out.
But now, sometimes that's an issue. Insecure, and now
that's an issue. That's an issue. What I'm saying is, y'all go through that too, but differently, because the simple fact that is on our men's side, we look at the present. But like I said, I just answered this question. Brianna asked me this question, and she was like, "You're not looking for nobody, da 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 da." And I was like, "It's not that. It's the fact that I want to make sure that I'm good, that I'm at a certain place where when I find her, we can be compatible and we can build together." And you know what I'm saying? And a lot of men don't have that. Don't have the mindset of doing that. And on the women aspect is y'all focus on a man future and the possibility of what they're gonna be.
Right.
But then y'all don't grow with that.
And you see,
and the mentality don't grow with that.
And can I be for
real?
So
that's the problem on both sides.
So
let's look at it at both sides of the coin.
And no, for sure, because I have also seen situations where you have that, and the man is like, "I'm gonna heal." And he heals, right? And then he start dating, right? And then women are so broken by how them lower vibrational men treated them that they're so shocked, like from good treatment, that they don't know how to react to it. And then
you get afraid of good men. I've seen that.
But this is the issue with that, though. Both men and women have terrible are picking choices.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Well, listen.
Don't get me wrong. There's obviously
because everything that glitters is not gold. Everything that glitters not gold, and both sides have that issue.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, men ain't shit. No, what you looking for ain't shit.
It's not what?
What you looking for ain't shit. Because we get blinded by the booty. We get blinded by the, you know what I'm saying? I get blinded by the, the gray sweatpants. I get blinded by the bread. You know what I'm saying? There's women out there that does that. Don't act like it's just, I'm not talking about specifically you. I'm talking about women. There's a lot of women out there that I'm telling you, it's that too. But
it's mostly this.
No, I've seen broke men that don't have shit to do with themselves. They putting that thing down. They getting that woman fucking with them. We not gonna
this dick.
We's not gonna happen. We not gonna sit here and act like women not getting dickmatized. Just like how women putting it down on the man, they doing whatever they get pussy with. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's on both sides. It's pros and cons on both sides. We not about to sit here and act like it's not.
I just want to go back to the point of the financial aspect, right? There are guys who are passionate about being truck drivers, driving metro buses.
They would get left because she thought she was getting better.
Because
instead of appreciate the man who he is.
Hold on, bro.
My bad, Mo.
There are good, solid men who are blue collar people, got solid careers, good benefits, right?
Amen.
They'll come across a woman, let's say she's a lawyer or something along those lines, right?
That's Tyler Perry. What's the name of it? Oh my God.
And so she's already coming in it with all these things, right? She, certifications, degree, money, right? So now that she's at a certain status, she feels like, okay, well, my man is here financially. So I think since he's here, I can get him up to where I am. But in reality, what if he doesn't want to be where you are financially? What if he's loves his job, but he's still providing for you?
Oh, for sure. And there are some women that providing for you in other ways than finance.
Right, but it's what you agree upon, though. Because, there's still men who would still pay the mortgage or the rent. Despite...
why do you do that?
Yes, because maybe his finances are in order.
Okay, well...
Despite...
Because don't get me wrong, sorry for that, I don't know her name, but the lady who was married to the man who owned Amazon? You know how Amazon is $1 trillion company, right? So they got a divorce.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos.
Right, and she is a billionaire now, right? Because they split it, right?
Yeah, because of his assets. Yeah.
Her husband is a teacher. She's a billionaire, and her husband, her new husband is a teacher. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some women who.
And that
they do it.
But hold on.
No question though.
But hold on.
But question though.
Hold on, bro.
Would she pick that same man if she would have never had that $1 billion from Jeff Bezos?
No.
Do you think so?
No.
You don't think so?
Hell no.
Fuck no.
Hell no.
It depends on what her job is.
Nope.
It depends on.
No,
it
does
depend.
depend.
It do depends on that.
Don't do that.
It does
Because if
depend
she
on
was
that.
a teacher too,
It does depend on
she
that.
would date her teacher. Because I've in my old high school. No, don't do that. My old high school, my Spanish teacher, my English teacher got married.
We talking about this specific.
But they
person.
on the
I'm talking
they on the same financial level though.
We
That's
talking
why
about
I
that
said it
specific person,
depends on
though.
what
Yeah.
her job is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
Okay.
you're saying like, would she have dated him if she wasn't a billionaire? It's a possibility. It depends on what her
It's a
job was.
possibility,
If
but
they were
it's
at the
low.
same pay rate, then yes, she might be. It's not that low. Like
It is low.
my mother.
At her top, no. When she had got into it with that man, and probably, you don't know her mentality. When you're younger, your mentality is different. You know, just
Sure.
because you mature and all that.
Jesus.
Everybody not that at your age. You feel me?
For sure.
So I'm saying though, the likelihood, not saying it's 0%, not saying it's 0%, but the likelihood that at that time of her life, she ended up with Jeff Bezos that ended up being if she never met Jeff Bezos and met that man before she met Jeff Bezos, the likelihood of her doing that is low. It's low.
I agree with that.
It's low. And then she can afford not caring about what he doing and just caring about just strictly the person. Because she got that $1 billion. There's a lot of people that's good far as you a good person, just don't know how to live.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? They're not a good spouse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You love them, you love their personality and all that. It's just the way of life is messed up. So you can't just automatically think because she did that before. You don't know the mentality and none of that.
Oh, for sure. I'm just saying that
I ain't saying it's not a possibility.
It's a possibility that
Yeah.
you can be, have a large sum of money.
Yes.
And still date someone.
Yes. Because you can afford to.
Because you can afford to.
I just think that women have to get out of the frame of mindset of thinking you can build up a man. There have been stories that it has been done. However, it's also not likely that you'll be able to do that because whatever a man is passionate about, that's what he's gonna do.
For sure.
Right. And so if he's still bringing the chicken and the bacon home, despite he may be making less than you, but he knows shit loves his job, let him do him.
Oh, for sure. And that's why I said I admire men for the whole concept of you date for exactly who you are in that moment. Like, and I am trying to debunk like this in my own head with thinking that like, oh, dating for potential. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm still attracted to ambition. Like, I want to know that you're doing something with your life. Mm-hmm. But I am trying to look at, in romantic situations, I'm trying to look at men from this point forward in a way that's like, if we were to be just this for the rest of our life, would I be okay with exactly where I am? And I think that has, I mean, if you ask certain people, people would say it hasn't helped because I don't date as often now. Mm-hmm. But I would say that it has helped me because now my time is not wasted.
Yes.
Like it's not.
Well,
because I'm only dating for like if you like, don't get me wrong, like I'm okay with you not being in school, but what are you doing if you're not in school? And I'm not okay with you just being in school. What do your grades look like? Are you involved? Mm-hmm. Like, do you if you have anger issues, if you have anything going on, are you seeking any type of help to help with your like? There's so many things that it's not like you have to be this 6'5", dark skin NBA player. But I need to see something that allows me to feel comfortable being the woman that's standing by your side.
You gotta have justification.
Because I don't mind letting the man be the leader, but you're a leader before you get to me.
Facts.
You're not gonna come to me and then be like, you need to do this and do this and do this and do this. There's a guy that I talked to, and he's an amazing guy, and he was like, he was like, hey, like I think that we should start doing devotionals. And I'm like, okay, like that's great. I'm fine with that. And he's like, are you sure? He was like, do you want to help me look for one, or would you like me to find one for us to do? See, that's leading, not being like, oh, you need to be somebody who reads their Bible all the time. Like I need a Proverbs 31. You need to da 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 da. He was trying to grow. He was
a leader and a dictator.
He was trying exactly. And I think that a lot of young men. A lot of young men my age are confusing the two.
Yeah.
They don't understand the difference. Maybe because they haven't had a good example of what it's supposed to be,
But you also have to understand too that guys your age they're still figuring it out, right?
Nigga, it's niggas out here that's 50 years old ain't can figure it out.
I understand that, but remember, women mature faster than us.
Hell yes.
In every single way, right?
Hell yes.
So when it comes to guys your age, give them a little bit of grace, because they're still from a maturity standpoint, they're not there where you are.
But she still should have some justification on giving that man a chance, though.
Of course.
The same thing on the opposite side.
Of course.
You gotta have some justification, like how she said. I was like, okay, if you're not doing this, what are you planning? What is your plan?
Right.
What did you plan? You know what I'm saying? And if you got a plan, what are you doing to put that plan in motion?
Exactly. Or what are you doing so that I know that the plan is in motion?
Yeah.
Because you ain't got to be at the end, but you definitely got to be moving.
That's a fact. And then the women is like, okay, are you willing to build with me? You know what I'm saying? Do you have certain qualities that I look in a wife? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have these conversations. Then they get into marriage, and then they figure out, well, I ain't know this. Why did you not know this? Why do you not figure out who the hell you about to mess with? Who the hell you think about being with for life? You know what I'm saying? How do you not know these things? We got to find justifications on why we want to be with somebody on both ends. If you don't find that justification, then when you get into it and you figure out that, oh, this is not what it is, you waste all that time for what? So that's why, you know what I'm saying, I agree with you saying, you know what I'm saying, as far as knowing exactly what's going on so you won't waste your time. Because I'm not wasting my time. I've been in one relationship as a grown-ass man. I'm not playing with my time. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Help me.
Nigga!
Any closing thoughts on this season?
Man, it's been a wonderful season, man. She came on aboard, you know what I'm saying? I really want to, like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're helping you as well, you helped us tremendously on different ideas. The posters you do, because we did some of the most ABC looking posters before, you know what I'm saying? We just split screened it. But, you know, you doing your thing and you being here, you elevate us more. And I feel like objectively, this is our best season. And I'm glad to like end it off with you being on the show. And I'm glad that you brought up some of the things you brought up. It's just ridiculous. It's not a lot of women that has the mindset of you at any age.
Right.
It's not. So it's wonderful to see it at your age, and I'm happy to have you aboard.
Well, on that note, we're going to close out this season. It's been an amazing season. See y'all at the Rippies next Saturday. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to the show this year. We will see y'all
next year!
And we out.